So I have about 5 techniques that I want to share. If you get posed questions that, you know, for a moment, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, and you're not sure how you should proceed with it. So in my job as a salesperson as well, sometimes the customer will ask me a question and then I'm like, okay, how do I answer? What's the best way to answer, right? So I find that even these few techniques helped me in my work and also in my social life. So can you go to the next slide, Shalene? Right, so there are 5 simple techniques on this. Now, of course, for Toastmaster, we say that, okay, table topics is a session. You get posed a question. You know, you get asked a very simple question, maybe like, what's your favorite food? Okay, it's a very simple question, right? What's your favorite food? So how do you answer? How much do you share about the food? What do you talk about? So it really depends on how long you're given to talk. And in table topics, you are very structured because you only talk for 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, you have to say certain things. Now, what if you get a longer period? In my past experience, we have conducted this session for Maybank before. It's called the Elevator Pitch. It's a 3-day workshop. We kind of stay in the Maybank Academy and we drill into them, you know, how to speak and so on. And an integral or important part of it is actually the table topics. So we get posed very weird questions and then they are trained, because what happens is they go into a lift with the CEO, literally an elevator. And for 5 minutes, they have to pitch an idea to the to the CEO. So similarly, you may not get that type of question from your CEO, but you may be posed a certain question that you have difficulty in answering. So we go to technique 1. Okay, so technique 1 is what we call very easy. Okay, the honest servants. They, you know, Rudy Kipling says that I have 6 honest servants. They taught me all I know, and their names are who, what, when, where, why, and how. This 5 W and 1 H, or sometimes we say 5 wives and 1 husband. Okay, it's a bit more that like, okay, Muslim is actually 4 wives, right? So okay, these 5 wives and 1 husband. It's one of the easier way to approach a topic. But of course, it really depends if the topic allows you to talk about this 5 wives and 1 husband. Let's say the topic is asking you, what is your favorite color? Okay, it's already W, what? So you can answer the question very directly. My favorite color is blue. You can see my slide is all blue. So my favorite color is blue. And you can end it there. But you know, as adults, or even like if you get a post such a question from someone senior in your management, you cannot just answer the what. You have to give the why. You know, or why is it that, you know, or you have to give some substance to the question. It's the same like children who is doing, I think now you've got this HOTS, higher order thinking, HOTS, higher order thinking skills, right? HOTS, I don't know what it's called in Malay. But in HOTS, right, you don't answer a question just directly. If you do, you get 1 point. You cannot score A. You can score a C. So how do you score an A is you have other elements. Why, when, where, and all that. Of course, it has to be suitable. So, you know, when you get posed a question, you have to think whether, can I use this approach? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. If I can, then you either use some, not necessarily all, you either use some or you use most of the elements in this particular technique. So quite straightforward, right? Let's see. Any question about technique 1? I will stop after each technique so that in case there's any question under this technique, because it really depends on the topic that you're given. But if there's any question on this topic, no, let's look at some reaction. No reaction means no question. Okay, if there are no question, then we go to number 2, because I'm sure we have to revisit this slide again. Okay, number 2, let's have a look at number 2. Okay, I use the acronym of PREP or prepare, P-R-E-P. So this prep or preparation, right? This is good if it asks you for an opinion. Okay, if the question asks you for an opinion, okay, so you can use technique 2, which is prep. So if it's an opinion, it will be something like, is your favorite color blue or red? I'm just pulling out a question randomly. Is your favorite color blue or red? Okay, so you have to state a point. You must give an answer. Blue or red? So you give a point. You state your point. So if it's blue, you say, my favorite color is blue. Then you go to the R, reason. Why? Why is your favorite color blue? And then you give some examples. So if let's say for this particular question, okay, my favorite color is blue. Okay, and the reason is because I find blue very soothing. You see, I love to scuba dive, and whether you're in the sea or you're up above the sea, the sky is blue, the water is blue, everything is blue. So those are the example. And then you close again with your point. Okay, you restate the point. So blue is a very nice color. It's a beautiful color. It's not only a color for boys. Okay, so you rephrase that again. This is just very straightforward. Prep. P-R-E-P. Prep. You give a point, you give your reason, you give your example, and then you restate back your point. So you may be posed with question that ask you to give an opinion or ask you to make a choice. So this is how you approach it. You use the prep method. Point, reason, example, and point again. So I'm just making it very simple. Hopefully it's easy for you. Okay, prep. Then I'll look again in the room. Any question or not? Okay, let me just look through.
Yeah,
okay, no,
if you all have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask right away.
Yeah. Okay, so no reaction. I assume nothing. No reaction, nothing. So later during table topics, all of you have to speak. Okay, all of you cannot hide and close the screen. Shirley will pull some names and all of you will have to speak. Right. Okay, so that's second method. Prep, point, reason, example, point. We go to third method. This okay. Third method. Okay, third method we call it chronology. Chronology again. This most likely chronology would be a open-ended question, meaning it's not a do you want to choose A or B type of thing, but it could be an opinion as well. But it's probably a very open type of question that you can share on past, present, and future. Okay, let me try to think of a good question. Okay, the question might be, or the statement could be, we would like to paint the office and we are going to use blue. Okay, what's your opinion? It could be an opinion question, right? Okay, we are painting the office and we're going to paint it blue. So then you'll be like, okay, how do I respond to such a question? Okay, you can go back to the past, present, and future. Maybe your corporate color is blue. I don't know whether what's the corporate color of Eco World. Okay, let me see your baju. I think you're all in white shirt.
Green and white.
Okay, green and white. Okay, so then now somebody comes and tell you that we're going to paint the office and it's going to be blue. So you go past, present, and future. Then we're like, in the past we've always used green color, but now we have to go to blue because why? We cannot be the red ocean anymore. We've got to be blue. Some kind of things like that. So you go to the past, you talk about the present, and you talk about the future. So again, it depends on the topic. Can you apply such a chronology or such an example? Past, present, and future. It can be something like, how do you see? Okay, if you've gone for interviews, right, they will always ask this question: where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So you have no choice. You're talking about future, right? But you have to reminisce a bit about the past. What was the past about? And then your present, then you dwell a lot more about the future so that you can really answer the question, what do you see yourself in 5 years, right? So past, present, and future. Of course, it's not just one statement. You always have to give some other examples. It's just that this technique will be quite easy if it matches the question. Past, present, and future. Now, maybe I can just see from the audience, most of you in, I don't know, administrative job or technical or anyone in sales in this group?
Yes.
Got Okay. Well, I see people all close their camera.
Don't run away.
I see people all close their camera. Suddenly the screen like hilang. Just now got a lot of names, So they all close their camera. Cannot call them, right? No, okay. So then let's move to the next slide, right, Shirley? So the next slide, okay, in sales, modified for handling objections. So for Eco World, you may get certain objections, like when you're talking about a certain property or a certain project, right? You might say that, oh, your project is, very expensive. Why should I spend, or there's a similar project by somebody else, UEM or another group, Gamuda or something like that. So how do you address that, right? So it's again past, present, future, right? So past, present, future is modified a bit. It's like, I feel you, I felt you, and I found out. So it's similar because you see, I know how you feel. So you address the now, present. you acknowledge them, you address the now, okay? And then you go a little bit back to the past. So that's why I see I have a customer who felt the same way, okay? Felt last time was like that. Then, but they found future, okay? So there's a future to it, but they found that ... So you can talk about, yes, I feel the same way for this project, okay? But I have had, a few customers who felt the same way. And then after they visited the showroom or after they visited the site, they found that this is worth investing the money because, and then all your points or your feature benefit will come out, like that. So it's again similar to past, present, future, except the order is a little bit changed. It's present, past, future, because you feel them, you empathize with them. So they think that, oh, you know what I'm feeling. Okay, you felt there was a past to it, somebody felt a certain way. And then there's a future element to it, a closing, I found, okay, or you, okay, it's also feel, but you found out that, this is what is going to happen, or you feel that, it's only going to get better. Yeah, so it's again past, present, future type of approach. Okay, so no question one, go next. Okay, I think I only covered three, right? Okay, technique 4. So technique 4, okay, technique 3 is a trio, right? Past, present, future is a trio. And then, so technique 4 is 2. So you notice my technique getting less and less, First I got 6 ways, and then I got 4-way prep, and then I got 3-way, now I got 2. So 2 works if only it's very simple, cause and effect. Okay, cause and effect. So if the question asks you something that you just answer cause and effect. Cause and effect to the question. Or there's another one which is problem and solution. So there's like just either it's a cause effect type of question or a problem solution type of question. So it's again depend on the question, but you answer it as a cause effect or problem solution. So sometimes with our work or management, right, sometimes they will ask you a question, you actually just need to use this approach because there's a problem or there's a challenge, and then you want to offer a solution. Okay, so usually the work wise type of question is usually using this approach. What's the problem? Okay, what you identify as a problem or the challenge, and then what is your answer or what's your solution approach. So once you do or you answer a topic in that way, problem, solution, then you are able to address the question quite well. Okay, so this is technique number 4. And then I think last technique already.
Yeah,
technique number
Shel,
5.
maybe
Yes.
I have one question on this.
Okay, can.
Yeah, so I think for problem solution is quite easy to understand for this part. Now, how do you have an exact example for cause and effect then? Like for
Cause and
cause and
effect.
effect, yeah.
A question on cause and effect.
A question
Okay.
or an example to use that approach.
Okay, so one way of cause and effect that we're looking at would be, okay, let's say somebody asks you your opinion on COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19, all right, COVID-19, like, we should lift the CMCO. Okay, your opinion, we should leave the CMCO. Then you'll be like, leave the CMCO, or I don't know, are you all working from home or working from site? Like for me, I still work from site. So then you need to give your opinion, right? So in this case, there's a cause and effect. So you can talk about the cause and effect of why we are even in CMCO. Okay, so number 1, we have very high numbers of infection. Okay, and it's still not controlled. So there's a cost to it. Okay, and then the effect is that, if we lift the CMCO, what is the effect of lifting the CMCO? So there's 2 ways to look at it. If we lift the CMCO, then people can make an earning, people can work, right? So then they are sure they get employment, they're sure they get paid, economy will move. So that's the effect. So another cause and effect to this is if they don't leave the CMCO, all right, or if they don't leave the enforced MCO, like everybody has to stay home, nobody can go out of the house. So what's the effect? Okay, the effect would be a very direct effect, like the economy doesn't move, or you have to learn how to do online selling, or else if not, you are behind time. Okay, the effect is you're behind time because everybody is going on Shopee and Lazada, but we cannot buy anything from you because you're a brick and mortar type of shop. Yeah, and we cannot go out of our house. So because you got no Grab, so there's a cause and effect. So those are some scenario of cause and effect. But these are extreme cases that I can think of at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully that can answer the question. But
Yeah.
that's one way lah, cause and effect or problem and solution. And you see,
Okay.
they are sort of interrelated one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sort of interrelated. So that's
Okay.
technique 4. I think we have one more. Okay, technique 5. Okay, so technique 5. Okay, technique 5 is more relatable to Toastmasters because in Toastmasters we learn how to organize and make a speech. When we learn how to organize and make a speech, we always say that you have an opening. Okay, you have an opening, then you have a body of a speech, and then you have a closing, right? So it's also, for me, I also feel that this is relatable to sales lah. You have an attention statement, okay? You have an attention statement, and then you have a body and you have a conclusion. So if let's say an attention statement, it can be something like, CMCO 20% off. Like, really? CMCO 20% off. What are we talking about? Okay, then you go into the body. What is it that you're giving off? Is it a discount? Is it a product? Is it what exactly is the body of that's related to the attention, that 20% off? So maybe 20% off, maybe we're talking about like, what was it? Oh, no, Starbucks was buy one, free one. Okay, so let's go to Starbucks. Okay, so the attention is buy one, free one. Okay, buy one, free one. Then I'm like, buy one, free one, really? And then so you go into the body. So buy one, free one is Starbucks, but only on weekend. Saturday and Sunday, and only from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, because that one is the witching hour, early in the morning, weekend, people still sleeping, nobody's going out to Starbucks. So they're very free, right? So they do a buy one, free one. And then the conclusion is you must make sure that you go and use your app, because besides your buy one, free one, you get another, additional RM1 off because you're using your Starbucks app. So that's your conclusion. So that's the ABC approach: attention, body, and conclusion. Actually, a lot of topics you can use ABC. It's similar to prep, but prep you need to make an opinion. So this one may not have an opinion. This one can start with a statement, and then your body, and then you conclude, right? So in any speeches also the same. You have your you open, okay, you have an attention, then you have body, but of course in speeches they are longer lah. They are 5 minutes, 7 minutes. So you have 3 topics or 3 body that you want to talk about, and then you have a conclusion. So that's the ABC approach. Okay, so there's a 5 approach. So then we go to the last slide. I think I'm on the last slide, right? Final tip, LDP. So okay, as I use the LDP almost every day, because from where I commute from home to my office, okay, Subang to PJ. So I use the LDP every day. But what exactly is this LDP to impromptu speech, or LDP to table topics? So now I didn't put the answer there, and it won't flash out, so you got to write it down somewhere, or listen very carefully. So the L means listen. Okay, you have to listen to the topic. You have to listen to what exactly is the person trying to ask you. Okay, what's the question that the person posed to you? Okay, so once you listen to the question, then only you can do the D. So D means what? D means deliberate and decide. So you have to think. That means you have to think lah. Okay, what approach should I use? How should I answer this question? Is this an opinion? Is it a yes, no? Or is this a very abstract topic? So you have to decide. You have to deliberate and decide. Okay, deliberate and decide which technique, which method you want to use, right? Then finally, P is your present. So in present, right, very often is that we ourselves as individual, we get very nervous because we don't know what to expect. So this nervousness come across as certain symptoms or certain mannerism, like when you talk, you go like very fast, or when you talk, you have a lot of like that, because your thought process is interrupted. Yeah. So what happens is that the present, this is where, like, if you are in Toastmasters, it helps because you become calmer, you become more confident, and you can present in a clearer manner, right? So that's why for like, let's say Sohua or myself, because we are always in meetings. Last night got meeting, tomorrow night got another meeting, things like that. So we have a lot of opportunity to present. We have a lot of opportunity to practice. So that's why the P part is critical. The more you practice, the more you present, then you can sound more confident. Yeah. So LDP, whenever you answer any question, you don't straight away answer the question. You listen first, then you think. Okay, the D part is you think. You use the brain, you think. How should I approach it? What should I do? What should I say? And then only P, your presentation. So if you want a good presentation or you want to come across as very confident, then you need to do many, many times. You need to practice many, many times. Yeah. So that's the final tip, LDP, right? Of course, there's no one technique that will work all the time. Again, it depends on your question, right? It really depends on your question. Then only you can use, oh, should I use this approach? Should I use that approach? And then just now I already give some weird questions lah. But we get asked this type of question in the usual. I don't know. My kids also will ask sometimes like, "What's your favorite color out of the blue?" And then, why should I answer the question? So these are things that you will face even in work or or worst case. Okay, just now I saw a lot of men. Then your wife will come and tell you, abang, baju saya cantik tak? Abang, they find the name first. Hakim, abang, baju saya cantik tak hari ni? Apa you nak jawab? Okay, what are you going to answer? All right, are you going to use the cause effect ke, past, present, future ke, state your point, prep, they like suddenly you get this question. Or worse, the wife will ask the husband, bang, kalau I pakai baju ni gemuk tak? Macam mana you nak jawab? Okay, I see people laughing already. So, sometimes you get this type of question like, how do I answer? What do I approach, right? So you listen and then you think, kalau I jawab macam ni, apa aku jadi? What will happen tonight? Or, things like that, right? And then only you present before you give the answer. Okay, so yeah, I said that, enjoy the session. I think there's one more slide, right, Shel? Yeah, finish. Okay, so let's do it.